Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Megan McNamara Monday, coming to you live from my office in Maryville, Tennessee. Today's topic that I want to speak with you about is cell phones. I'm recording this now on a cell phone, so obviously they're a very important tool. With any major thing, there is always a pro and a con, so I kind of like to talk about the strengths of cell phones and potentially cell phone addiction. So, the positives first. We have gotten into a generation where we expect things now, and I think that can be a really good thing. I mean, if for those of you that could remember a time before email or cell phones, things went a lot slower. And while there are some benefits to slow, I think that the instantaneous connections that can be fueled by cell phones and email and social media and the internet potentially can have wide-reaching effects to connect us, to provide us instant information, to allow us to live our lives smoother and faster. If you know me at all, you know that I'm into kind of spiritual philosophy sorts of things, and from my perspective, I think cell phones and technology is kind of one step away from telepathy. I know that's kind of sometimes a controversial topic, but one of the big things I focus on in my therapy practice is developing intuition. So in my mind, everybody has intuition. Some of us have developed it more than others, but one way of receiving information is through telepathy. And so have you ever been thinking about someone, you're going to text them, and all of a sudden they text you? Those kind of instant connections, Jung used to call synchronicities, really are a form of kind of telepathic communication. And so in my mind, I think a cool perspective on technology is that we're getting closer and closer to that immediate feedback loop. Whether it's through a text, through cell phones, through social media, it gives us an ability to kind of connect across the globe, connect across time, and get that instantaneous connection and feedback. So, on to the downside. Because it's instantaneous, I think it has a really powerful potential for addiction. And so I was looking up some stats on cell phone addiction, and what I found was the average person uses the cell phone about 3 hours a day. And, that's just the phone. They started giving you kind of reports weekly on how much time you're using, and that pretty much holds true in my experience. And that's not even across devices like iPads or TVs or any other screens that we may be in front of. So if you add that up across a lifetime, they say that we are gonna be spending 5 years of our lives on social media if we clock that 3 hours a day. So if any of you were fifth-year seniors, we're getting kind of a college education on social media. And so that kind of begs the question, what are you looking at? Are you sort of, laughing over the memes? Are you getting involved in politics and drama? Are you learning new things? Are you connecting with enriching people? So, I think with anything, it's just how you use it. There is a term that we like to talk about called phubbing, and we use that in our family. The social media in particular, but cell phones, they were kind of designed to give you that rush. And so it's kind of like gambling. It is one of the most addictive things because you never know what you're going to see. So you pick up that phone with anticipation, kind of wondering what's going to be next. And so it can kind of get in our way of interactions. I'm sure you've been out at a restaurant or maybe with your own friends or family, and everybody's on the phone. And so sometimes it's just really hard to put it down. And so you have to kind of be mindful and kind of intentional to be able to put it down and make sure that we're not phubbing the people we care about most. One kind of perspective that I think is really neat that I wanted to talk about was the idea of attention deficit disorder. So I'm not going to talk about the clinical diagnosis, but they were kind of putting a spin on it, like maybe attention deficit disorder kind of plagues all of us because we're not giving attention to the things that are most important to us. We're kind of wasting our times on our phones. We're kind of getting in that addictive cycle of just picking it up because we're compelled to, not because of some good reason. And so it's kind of important to think about paying attention to the people that you really care about. So I know I'm guilty of it, particularly being a business owner. If I lose my phone, it makes it really hard to function. And so sometimes my phone kind of runs me and I have to send a text back or confirm something or attend to something. And, my little one might be wanting some attention from me. And so sometimes there is a little bit of relief when she, gets plugged up in front of a screen. I'm sure most parents can kind of relate to that. However, we can miss our lives doing that, right? We can kind of just want to numb out, scroll, kind of dig through our cell phones, and we can kind of miss the life that's right in front of us. So today is just kind of a mindful reminder that maybe put your cell phone down, maybe look up into the world, see what kind of beautiful thing is going on outside. And, if you really want to go for it, try a day to unplug. It's funny, I like to do that on Sundays, and so sometimes I'll let my phone die or just not return calls or text back, and it really freaks people out. And so back to the whole telepathy thing, people expect an immediate response, and it's not natural for us to be on 24 hours a day. It's really important to kind of have some downtime. So give yourself permission to unplug, be mindful of your cell phone use, and most importantly, make sure you tend to the people, places, situations, things that are most important to you. And the best thing that you can give them is your undivided attention. Thanks for watching. If you'd like more therapy nuggets, check out rightonbrain.com. RIGHT, right on brain. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.